What's really dangerous but everyone treats it like it's safe? Long hair around pulleys and belts. There's a YouTube channel where two young ladies are working around a sawmill with long hair, and I can't count how many times people have begged them in the comments to tuck their hair up. They don't. In 11th grade I had hair down to my butt and was weirdly pretty good at working the horizontal lathe at my school. Tons of rotating parts, it's used to cut and shave down pieces of metal. I had my hair in a ponytail instead of a bun and I thought someone was pulling my hair, and then my head slammed down to the machine and within like 3 seconds my hand broke cause I put my hand in to save my hair. My classmate pulled the plug on the machine and saved my life. Saving this comment to show the kids in my class that cannot grasp the concept of danger involved in using a lathe. I like to tell them that you can quickly become human mince. I've seen footage. It's too graphic to show kids, but a lathe can turn a person into meat in seconds. Part of me thinks that the only way to actually get people to take safety seriously is to show them that content. When I was 9 was in woodworking class at school, and the teacher told about a girl's hair getting caught in one of the machines and she pretty much got scalped. I never went near the thing again, even if it was mostly switched off. Funny that, in year 9 I heard that story too. What's further interesting is that I was going through my metal look phase and had grown my hair super long. One day my fringe was dangling towards the machine and my teacher hit the main emergency off switch. He then proceeded to berate me for almost tearing my scalp off, and TBF, rightfully so. A heavy metal-loving schoolmate of mine tore a chunk out of his scalp and cut a groove in his head merely using a drill carelessly with loose long hair. When I came round it was still spinning against my head. It caught a lock and wound it up, yanking head and drill together, knocking him out cold. God knows what a full-size lathe would do. Well, in fact anyone who saw the video knows. Infections. Every person reacts differently to them. Don't assume you are the average. Sepsis is no joke. Met a woman and her husband in 2018 at a show, nice people. Few months later she messaged our group chat and her husband had died of sepsis. He'd been sick but refused to go to the hospital because of expenses. In the end, he lost his life trying to save money. He was only in his early 30s too. Say la America. Not just in America. I'm Korean American and it is extremely common in our community to fly to Korea for any major surgery and come back. Do you realize how insane that is? The round-trip ticket to the other side of the globe, plus cost of stay and food, is cheaper than just getting the help within the US. Oftentimes, this is even with American health insurance, for more serious diagnosis and operations. This is not normal for a developed country. Did you see me defend America anywhere? Pretty much is. Really? It's not. But we can go around and around pretending America is the only country where people don't seek care because of cost, be it of care or lost wages, if it makes you feel better. Wild animals. I was in Thailand when a 30-year-old got bitten by a monkey. Her complaint? No one had warned her not to pet the monkeys. Honest to God. The wild animal acted naturally. The true danger here was her stupidity. I would argue that, as a stupid person, she also acted naturally. Stupid's gonna stupid, monkey's gonna monkey. Monkeys are nasty. Monkeys are some of the most terrifying animals, because they are like humans without the layer of civility and twice as strong. They seem to be intentionally mean sometimes, like they understand they are causing pain and it excites them. Sure, a cougar or a bear will run you down and kill you if you trespass in their territory / mess with their kids or they are extremely hungry, but a monkey will leap from a tree and rip your face off like a left for dead jockey just to make their friends laugh. Monkeys and primates scare the shit out of me. Everyone counters with "but they're so smart. They're like us." Yes, that's half the reason they scare the shit out of me. Thank you for the reminder. They're just like us, as in most of them are assholes. Sunburns would be treated much differently if they were called by their true name, radiation burns. I will now only be calling them radiation burns. I read these comments as sideburns and was very confused for a moment. I will call sideburns radiation burns from now on. Fun fact, they're named after Civil War General Ambrose Byrne Radiation. Jimmy Buffett just died yesterday due to complications from skin cancer, of which sunburns are the leading cause of. This day and age, with high-quality sunscreen and lightweight fabrics to cover you up, there is little reason you should be getting a nasty sunburn. I work in derm, and I have been begging my white-ass dad to wear sunscreen while he's living in Florida, but he's always been too good for it. Jimmy Buffett dying of it changed his mind. He texted me yesterday and asked if I could get him a nice little bottle at work. I literally almost cried in the car of relief, lol. This is exactly why I think people should be more open about cause of death when there is a loss. It's key opportunity for awareness. I didn't know if it was skin cancer related for Jimmy until just now. But I am glad people know, and it's changing behaviors. Driving. As a truck driver, I feel this to my core. Not many people realize how your entire life and the lives of so many others can change in an instant when you take your eyes off the road. I've seen far too many fatalities on the road in my 5 years as a truck driver. The worst part is people don't respect trucks. Look at your history, people. The interstates and highway systems were actually built for trucks. The people building them in the 50s never expected that so many normal citizens would use them on a daily basis. Except that's exactly what planners in the 50s expected. No, they weren't expecting regular cross-country road trips, but they were absolutely expecting people to drive on the interstate instead of taking the train, be it a streetcar, intercity rail, or urban rapid transit. Yes. I hate seeing people suddenly cut in front of huge trucks with long braking distances. I get this attitude, which is why I don't get why truckers always seem to tailgate slower drivers. I would say 80 to 90% of truckers comfortably follow four-wheelers at a distance they would be upset at if the car pulled in front of them. Yep. Some of the worst tailgaters are the truck drivers. So many of them are an absolute menace. Water on the road. You might be able to drive through it, but more often than not you shouldn't try to. My brother literally drives into the puddle, and the idiot even says that it's safer to go faster in them because the water separates. He hasn't had an accident yet, but if he does one day, the likelihood of it being because of that backward mentality is quite high. There is a slight grain of truth to this, although his logic is completely wrong. If you're going to traverse water, you should do so at speed so you can use the inertia to push yourself through when you start to lose traction on the tires. It's a lot harder to get going again than it is to stay going. What you're describing is speeding through a hydroplane, which is very, very stupid. Edit, Christ alive, people, if there is a chance of water coming in your intake, then the water is too high to traverse. You have to know your equipment and its capabilities and limitations. Your ability as a driver cannot stop physics. What's even worse is that he does it when we go out to family functions together and it rains. It scares my mother a lot. Our father died and my mother has Parkinson's, so my brother drives, and myself, and I know it's such stupid logic, yet if he is asked or told to please slow down, he restates his very same logic and truly believes it is correct. He then gets angry because someone conflicts his logic in some way and then proceeds to drive even faster, scaring the family even more. He's just such an arse, and I truly dislike him, and have ever since I was a kid. What a prick. Riding a horse is comparable with serious extreme sports, and head injuries are the most common. See kayaking. Simple, but you're in serious trouble if you flip around and can't get back in. A few days before my wedding, my wife, my sister and a couple of her kids went to a ranch where we rode horses for an hour or two. Fun outing, right? My sister fell off her horse and walked back with it. She wasn't going to get back on. For the next couple days she was telling us she must have pulled a muscle or something when she fell, because it kept hurting. Yeah, we'd say, a bit sick of hearing about it. She finally went to the hospital. Had 2 broken ribs and a punctured lung and had to spend the night while they drained her abdominal cavity. Holy shite, your sister is a tough cookie. High pain tolerance should honestly be an answer to this question. Blunt kitchen knives. One might think, oh, this is just a flat piece of steel, but cutting becomes tearing and crushing. The extra force this takes can easily send the knife off in an unintended direction in a swift and uncontrollable manner. Then you find out what a flat piece of steel can do to your fingers. 100% agree. I always got told and teach people that a sharp knife is safer as it will do what you want it to do, but a blunt needs more force and has a higher chance of slipping. Reminded me of a quote, a sharp knife goes where you want it to go. A dull knife goes where it wants to go. Sort of unrelated, but one of my favorites to remember in the kitchen is a falling knife has no handle. Please like and subscribe for more daily content.